Okay, hi there students. Here we have a writing, it's a report at level C2. This is CPE or an IELTS 8, 8.5, something like that. Okay, question. You work in a department with a large number of colleagues, all of whom are learning English. You recently discussed the idea of setting up an after-work film club with the aim of improving or maintaining your skills in English. You volunteered to write a report for your colleagues, and you should make suggestions about the following points. Film club. Why we should set up the club. How best to organise it. Costs. Any other considerations? Report to set up a film club. It works. I think I would be happy with, probably happier with about setting up a film club. My fellow colleagues, for the past few months, we've been communicating in English in the department at work time, and in an effort to prolong our exposure to the language, we proposed establishing an after-work film club whereby we could maintain and further improve our English skills. Okay, there's a good question here. Is how formal should this be? I guess this is work, so it needs to certainly carry a certain level of formality. My fellow colleagues, yeah, I think that works. Yeah, my fellow colleagues, for the past few months, so instead of four, it would sound much better over the past few months. We have all been communicating in English in the department at work time. So at work time. Okay, so over the past few months we have all been communicating in English in the department during working hours. So, my fellow colleagues, over the past few months, we have all been communicating. I think I'm going to lose the all as well. We have been communicating in English in the department during working hours. And in an effort to prolong our exposure to the language, okay, and in an effort to, I think so, to prolong, to further our exposure to the language, we proposed establishing, we proposed the, I'm going to say the setting up or the establishment, the setting up of an after-work film club, whereby, it's a bit formal but it works, we could you've got, yeah, and you've got the extra further, an effort to further to expand, whereby we could maintain and further improve our English skills. Okay, it's pretty formal. I think as you've chosen this level of formality, it's okay. I think if I wrote it, I might write this a little bit less formally, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the level of formality you've given it. This report has been written in my capacity as a participant of the club to give an account of the reasons for setting up the club, to outline potential benefits said club might bring, to suggest possible ways of organising it, and to estimate the costs. Okay, this report has been written in my capacity as a future participant of the club. I think I'm going to add an and here, and to give an account of, to set down the reasons for setting up the club, to outline potential benefits said club might bring, to suggest ways of organising it, and to estimate the costs. Okay, let's see. I've made some changes here. I don't think anything you've done here is actually very wrong. I'm just giving you other ways I might do it. I feel it's a touch over formal, but well, that's the way you've chosen to do it. And then here, reasons for setting up the club. Setting up the film club is beneficial for all employees, regardless of job function. Economic classes or their places in the corporate hierarchy in a variety of ways. Such activity is not only relaxing but also socially enjoyable. First, being an art form that is appealing to the general public, movies allow us to sit back, relax and escape the world of trouble and worries for several hours. It's an effective antidote to the stress and tiredness which we all suffer from after doing long hours of tedious work. The romantic content of the film, in tandem with the unhampered and laid-back atmosphere, allows everyone to engage in an activity in a stress-free environment impervious to the uptightness of work. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, reasons for setting up the club, that's fine. Setting up the club is, but it hasn't been set up. This is potential. Would be beneficial to all employees, regardless of job function, economic classes, job function, financial situation, or place in the corporate hierarchy. In a variety of ways. Okay, this in a variety of ways is beneficial. It's too far away from the beneficial. Would be beneficial in a variety of ways to all employees, regardless of job function, financial situation, or place, or I think I might say or position in the corporate hierarchy. Such activity, such an activity, and again, would not only be relaxing, such an activity would not only be relaxing but also socially enjoyable. First, being an art form that is appealing to the general public, movies would allow us to sit back, relax and escape the world of troubles and worries for several hours. The world of troubles and worries for several hours, yeah. It would be an effective antidote to the stress and tiredness which we all suffer from after doing long hours of tedious work. The romantic content of the film. So the film, which film? Because some have the romantic content. I'm not very happy with this romantic content. In tandem with the unhampered and laid back atmosphere, would allow everyone to engage in an activity in a stress-free environment impervious to the uptightness of work. Okay, so let's see. Well, I've got to do something about I think lose this word romantic, because the content of the films shown in tandem with an unhampered and laid back atmosphere would allow everyone to engage in an activity in the activity in a stress-free environment impervious to the uptightness of work. Second, beyond the fun setting up such a club could provide, beyond the fun, setting up such a club could provide an opportunity for people with similar interests and passion to come together and interact, fostering a sense of community, building rapport and strengthening camaraderie. Beyond the fun. Secondly, secondly, looking beyond the fun. The setting up of such a club could provide an opportunity for people with similar interests and passion to come together and interact, fostering a sense of community, building rapport and strengthening camaraderie. How it would work. Time. We have not as yet, I love this as yet, decided when to run the club each week, as the moment at which each employee finishes their work might be individualized and vary significantly from person to person. To run, so when to hold the club. We have not as yet decided when to hold the club each week, as the moment at which as the finishing time of each employee is individual and varies significantly from person to person. Notice how I've deformalized it a bit. However, I would propose that we meet at a regular interval. At a regular interval. I would probably say at regular intervals. Make it plural. And Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. would be the most appropriate time slot that could evade this issue. Could evade this issue. Oof. Evade. That could best solve this issue. The largest number of people in the department are available by 6 p.m. and we won't lament the lack of time, as 2 hours would be ample for both enjoying a film and discussing it afterwards. Good. Place. Selecting and deciding a suitable venue is of paramount importance to the film club. Good. I have reached a tacit, I love this word, tacit agreement with the personnel department, endowing the club with the authority to access the main convention room at the second floor in the evening. So not on the second floor, certainly. Endowing the club. Endow, it's a little bit formal again. Endowing the club with, granting the club authority to access the main convention room on the second floor in the evening. It would be the most convenient place with ample space to accommodate all participants. It would be the most convenient place with ample space to accommodate all participants, several impressive stereos, a gigantic high-resolution screen, and a vast number of armchairs, sufficient to guarantee a comfortable experience for our club members. By running, by holding. You need this verb to hold. By holding the club in the main convention room, we would no longer face the daunting prospect of paying rental costs for the venue. Of the prospect of paying rental costs for the venue. Costs. Another crucial aspect to consider would be the costs of constructing. Constructing, no, setting up, putting together, establishing, founding. The costs of founding the club. Several costs that might need to be taken into account include film rights and licensing, staffing and refreshments. Firstly, the cost of obtaining the rights to screen films, which may vary according to the film and the distributor, needs to be considered. I would suggest that the cost relating to film rights and licensing be undertook, be under undertake, undertook, undertaken, undertaken, be undertaken. I would suggest that the cost relating to film and licensing be Mm, by those who proposed watching that movie. Yeah. Um, you're saying you want to say underwritten. I would suggest that the costs relating to film rights and licensing be paid for, be met by those who proposed, purposed, who those who watched, be met by those who watched that movie. Be met by those who attended that movie. Second, as for staffing, I would prefer as to staffing. As to staffing, it would be best if this club is run. I would prefer a B run. You can make it a subjunct. It would be best if this club be run and maintained. Be run and be maintained voluntarily by employees in the department. We should be held responsible and work pro bono for preserving the club. Work pro bono in the running of the club, as we all agreed to establish it in the first place. Third, to maximise participation from our workers, we could oblige our members with refreshments such as popcorn and beverages during screenings, and I suggest we take it in turns to pay for this. We could oblige. It sounds too formal. We could supply, we could give. We could supply, we could provide. Yeah, we could provide. Our members with refreshments, such as popcorn and beverages, during screenings, and I suggest we take turns. We take it in turns to pay for this. Other considerations. Corroborate. I'm not sure what you mean by corroborate here. Well, as for the film selection, other considerations. Okay, to corroborate, or to be corroborated. As for the film selection, we could nominate a film each and draw straws, as an election would be inappropriate, since each individual would have their own unique ideas. An election is for a position, for a job, as in Prime Minister. We could nominate. So, as for film selection, we could nominate a film each and draw straws. And draw straws. Woof. I'm not very so, and draw straws. Draw straws. I think lose this as an election. And draw straws. Since each individual would have their own unique ideas. Please email me with your thoughts about all of the aforementioned points. We could nominate a film each and draw straws, since each individual would have their own unique ideas about films to watch, something like that. Okay, wow, what do I say about this? You've definitely done better. It's not bad, yeah? I think that your tone needs to be a little bit more informal, or a little bit more neutral. I think I'd probably give it this. I would want to have a tone of something like a 6.5 or even a 6. And I think you've written it as something a little bit more formal. Okay, so it definitely answers the question. It does what it's supposed to do. Yeah. And I think you've answered the question very well, and I think it is probably worth 2 out of 2 for the did you answer the question? Very definitely. The grammar used is okay, although I think the vocabulary used it could be better. So I think maybe vocabulary and grammatical selection 1.25 out of 2. Accuracy. There are not a great number of mistakes, and most of the changes are superficial that sound better. I think accuracy probably 1.75 out of 2. Now, cohesion and cohesiveness, these talk about the way it fits together and how one thing runs into the other. The way it's set out works very nicely, yeah. However, the way that each idea runs into the next one is probably less clear, probably something like 1.5. I think I'm going to give you overall a 7.5, maybe 7.75. I think I'm going to go for 7.75. So it's good, but it could be better. Yeah, it just doesn't feel terribly clear. Okay, so well done anyway. Enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. CPE Writing, a report.